Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere outside of Madison Square Garden, where President Trump was, of course, cheered and booed. My name is Brian Engelman. Today is Wednesday, June 10, 2026. In this right here, the thing that you are watching. It's called the TNAM Daily Show, larger. The TNAM Daily Show. TNAM, the new American media. TNAM because the news always matters. Thank you so much for being here. On today's program, we're going to discuss Karmelo Anthony. No, not the basketball player who did actually play at Madison Square Garden, interestingly enough. John Coffey, only not spelt the same. Spelled differently. We'll give you his verdict in the Austin Metcalf murder trial. Also, well, you know, it's a scattershot. Ireland is burning. California is being accused of election fraud. And an update on one of our longtime friends of the show who passed away yesterday. We will tell you all about it on the other side, so hit the thumbs up button, engage with the show, share the show with a friend. I'm Brian the bartender. We're going to talk about all the stories on the TV screens behind me. And you're going to sit here at the bar and we're going to have a conversation in the chat. So invite your friends and buckle up, buttercups. The TNAM Daily Show starts now.
Guide to the Truth, the new AmericanMedia.com.
Thanks for being here, everybody. Well, a lot of news to get to. As always. Well, where is it at? Scrolling through the comments. I saw something. Oh, okay. It was in Rumble. A Patriot Warrior said prayers for your friend. Well, my friend was your friend too. Marion says, howdy, Brian and the TNAM team. You know, Nimbus, Ben, Jamie. Jamie, of course, is my fake producer, who I often reference since I'm the showrunner, the talent, the researcher, the producer, the engineer, the marketing manager, I wear all the hats. So we do kind of jokingly call out to Jamie from time to time, who doesn't exist. I'm just talking to myself. Yep. It was Nimbus. "20 years. The oldest cat at the vet." Did a double check yesterday. Actually, on Saturday. Trying to just kind of had a conversation and said, how long has Nimbus been on this Silencia? Because it was a few years ago I noticed he just one day he wasn't able to jump. And he was like winding up, did like the shimmy, the backside shimmy from the ground, and it was like mini bouncing, like he wanted to jump. And then just one day he couldn't. I said, oh no, this is not good. Not good at all. So he ended up on a medication. I don't know what's happening. Why isn't the chat showing up on the screen? Oh, because it's a full screen. Here, let me just share this screen and then I'll try to get your comments up here. Is anything working? Hang on. It's not letting me share the screen. All right, you can still hear me. I'm trying something here. Okay. I can try it that way. So yeah, he ended up on something called Silencia, and it had some pretty good results in Europe, and it was new over here. And it. Let me try to wrap some of this up as tightly as I can. Yeah, since 2019, 2020, it's been a long 6 years. A long 6 years. COVID and other health issues took my mom in 2020, took my brother in 2020. God, was that only like a year later? 2022. And then Aster got sick in 2021. 2022, 2023, Halo. So my two cats, Aster and Halo, both. Aster got a large. I'm just gonna get through this and get into the news because I'm not. I haven't even posted anything on Facebook to all the people that lived with Nimbus over 20 years. Friends that came and went, guests. Nimbus was a mainstay. It was Brian and Nimbus. We were buddies, but Halo, my white cat, we called him the firefighter. Loved sitting by the sink drinking water. And he'd be the first to run in. If any of the cats were bickering with each other, he'd run in. What's going on? What's going on? And Astor, just a physical specimen, built like a racehorse. I mean, he was just pure black cat. Halo was a pure white cat. Just so loving, both of them. And yeah, having to say goodbye and to help ease your buddies, your family out of suffering. It's brutal, like there's no, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say what's worse. I mean, there's 100 ways to go. I guess if you pass in your sleep, that might be ideal. Maybe, the old joke of passing away during intercourse would be a great way to go. Go out on top or on bottom. But that is actually a pretty decent little piece of a joke you could expand a minute or two on. But there's not too many good ways to go. But when you have to be the one to ease your buddy's suffering, and you have to take on the burden of making that decision, are you waiting too long? Are you doing it too soon? Oh God, is that never an answer? It's never easy, but yeah, we got to get on with the show. The details are that yesterday was Nimbus's day, and it happened kind of quick. And he's, I look back. I was just watching it, by the way. This show. Maybe I could just play you this part. You know what? I will. Here, let me start. Okay. This was the evening show. Where's that? 33 minutes, I think. Nimbus jumped up. Here, let me just play this for you for a second. Now, how do we full screen this? Driverless cars, robots, Mars. But we don't normally do night shows. Timpa. These victims have a few things in common. No riots. He's nuzzling me in this show. I had started closing the door in part. Yeah, I wanted to go out, or I started closing the door in part because Nimbus would jump up and he would get all up in my grill, and I would clear space. I brought in an extra chair with a blanket for him to sit in. He didn't like it. I cleared out a flat space over there. He didn't like it. I moved out space over here on the desk. He didn't like it. He just wanted to be like cats do. Cats have an infallible way of finding what you're doing and getting in between you and it. It's sweet. It's endearing. It's, let's be honest, it's not easy. It's not conducive to getting work done. But, my schedule changed over the weekend. I had projects that I needed to finish on a timeline, and Nimbus jumped in. And he sort of stole the show. So let me just, it's a great way to show him here. So let me just play a moment of this. Having to watch that.
Just a few minutes ago,
He's just Matt Walsh. I kept leaning in to give him headbutts, to give him attention while I'm trying to type, while I'm trying to navigate. I got a mouse in one hand, I'm typing with the other. Has some thoughts on it. The three most Nimbus just kept nuzzling onto my beard, wanting attention. Most egregious body cam videos over the past decade. And here's the thing, I'm allergic to cats. So it's tough because if I start petting him and releasing the dander, it'll be on my hands. If I touch my eye or my nose or my mouth, I'll get even more allergic. I'll start sneezing. It's been a lifelong situation for me. So then I'll try to pet him, but like, here, let me use one finger and try to keep that one finger away from my eyes. You don't even realize how often you just reflexively, you touch your face, but when Nimbus wants attention, he gets attention. Cops unequivocally murdered someone. He's just leaning his head into me. One or left them to die are Henry Nowak, Daniel Shaver, and Tony Timpa. These victims have a few things in common. No riots, no murals in their honor. And they were all white. He's following me to... I'm going left to right to rub his head. You know what Matthew McConaughey would say about that? All white, all white, all white. I know, Nimbus, that was stupid. Once again, nothing funny about what happened. I'm trying to crack jokes. Matt Walsh talking about all these situations where cops unequivocally murdered someone or left them to die. Henry Nowak, Daniel Shaver, Tony Timpa. They have a few things in common. No riots, no murals in their honor, and they were all white. So I made the McConaughey joke, all white, all white, all white. And apologized to Nimbus for such a stupid joke. And I'd been outside in the sun painting all day long, fixing things up, just taking care of projects that needed to be taken care of. I was so tired. And in hindsight, like, this is, I don't know, one of my favorite shows now, a time capsule show. Yeah. Aww. It's tough trying to cover the news and stay in good spirits. Yeah, don't forget Irina Zarutska. Can we watch that footage? I did watch it. Or they did pause it and you didn't see the actual moment. I think it skipped ahead, right? Yeah, was it subtitle AI dubbed? I mean, it was definitely something, but being that it was Poland, I don't know if it was dubbed into English. He just kept moving his head up to... Aww. Yeah. It's a... He did not always do that. And like I said, recently, the other problem was he would try to jump up and he would miss. Even the medication, it didn't fix the arthritis, the degenerative condition in his joints and his bones. But it kind of helped him deal. And he was able. I mean, he'd go up and down the stairs. And even yesterday, after it became obvious, I mean, he couldn't move. He was sleeping. He jumped off of the bed down onto the floor, and his back, he was almost completely immobile at that point. He sort of just took a spot on the ground and just fell down, and he was down. And he rustled up the ability still to somehow make his way over and go downstairs. And I mean, a few steps at a time, but like his right hip, his back, leg, it was like having it wasn't working anymore. And he even made it up the stairs one more time, right up to the top step, and he was, he's had digestive issues. He's had, food issues, digestive issues, mobility issues. But you could still see the spark of life in his eye, and he was still as sweet as ever. And it's like, whatever it takes, whatever it takes to give you some more time, buddy. And so we did. But yeah, I got concerned about him jumping, and he would jump into my lap, or he'd just jump up onto the desk, but then he'd miss sometimes. And I'm like, buddy, I can't have you jumping and missing and hurting yourself. I was always trying to keep him from hurting himself. Or, there's a line from President Trump, and I'm going to ask Grok. About, I don't know if it's going to find it. I'd rather just tell you what it is instead of tell you half. I don't want to give you the punchline without the setup. I've seen this clip. I've heard people talk about this. I'm trying to remember exactly how it was phrased and in what context. I'm not finding it. We'll give it one more shot, and we're gonna. All right. Key descriptions of Trump's view. Other than golf, President Trump considers exercise misguided, arguing that a person, like a battery, is born with a finite amount of energy. You got a battery, so why use that battery on? Trump views excessive physical activity as draining your limited battery and wearing you out prematurely, rather than building health. He prefers conserving energy. Yeah, he prefers conserving energy. And yesterday, that's often cited as something that President Trump said. And yesterday Nimbus he ran out of movements. The mind was willing, but the body was weak. You've heard that. And I mean, God, that was the story with Halo, with Astor's tumor, and Halo just kind of similarly. Digestive issues, body breaking down, old age. My brother and my mom, like they were, when the body goes, the body goes. And sadly, that was yesterday. Marion says, but Brian, you did give Nimbus his best life ever. Man, from an orphaned LA street cat. We flew across the country with Nimbus, and Macobston Productions. Hey, you're a new name over here. Normally we jump into the news, and we will. Thank you for coming. Hopefully you can swing by and check out a later show. I haven't been able to talk to people about this, and this show is often therapy for me, but he was a part of the show for you. He was a part of the show for you. He was a part of the show for me. We want to hear about Nimbus, says Dina. Yeah, it's you never know which picture, which thing that someone says, what you want to say. It's like dealing cards. You don't know which one is going to be a club or a diamond. And then when it hits, it's hard to talk, you know. It's nice, Ortho. Nimbus 10-4. Oh, Nimbus. Is that what they say when a service dog retires or something? 1042, your shift is done. Rest well. I've seen those final days with the German Shepherds, and it's like, oh. Kenneth, get a 3D crystal done of Nimbus. What does that mean? How does that work? Rob says our pets are family. Always hard to lose them. Yeah, I know. Want to go out laughing at a joke. I was so slap happy on that late episode over the weekend. And I'm just glad we shared this moment together.
Global flash.
This.
I mean, you see how loving he was. He was just the best, you know? And the worst. Nimbus was very tough, very difficult. And caring for Halo and Nimbus over the past few years has, you know, I will not bore you and I will not complain, but wow, was it difficult. But love is love. And look at that. I mean, he just keeps nuzzling and just keeps saying, like, you're my favorite person. I love this show. And there's several moments I was scrolling through about 10 minutes after this. I just mentioned how Nimbus was looking up at me with big kitten eyes. He walked around and he sat right on top, like right in between my keyboard. It's like right on top of my left hand, so I can't really move and type accurate. I mean, and then he looked up and he had just these, I said, he had youthful kitten eyes, and he'll do that sometimes. And he was just, I don't know if this was him saying goodbye or if this was just him being him, but man, Ken says pets are in your path for a good reason. How so? What do you mean? Nimbut, as in Nim headbutt. Yeah, you know, if you see someone's cat or dog that doesn't want to be near their owner, you know, that's a bad sign. Yeah, the waterworks have been heavy for basically 24 hours. I named my cat Scratch Fever from his father, Nugent. Yeah, but thanks for stopping by. Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Nimbus. Anyway, just because for 20 years, basically, there's like before Barack and after Barack. No, I can't do that because that'd be BB. And we're not even getting into that topic right now. Before Obama, BO. Okay, because that smells, body odor. Before Obama and after Obama. AO. And boom, boom, boom. And let me hear you say AO. AO. Nimbus perked up. Basically for 20 years. Now I'm just resting my chin on his forehead. You've been hearing things like right-wing extremism. White Christian nationalists. Whites evil. Whites are. Anyway, that's where he moved along. X. Oh, everybody, make sure you're following. Where is that moment? 33 minutes. It doesn't get better than that. Right. Oh, hi, Nimbus. Oh, he is being so sweet right now, guys. And I had to point it out because it was excessively sweet. Not in a bad way. I mean, it was just like, why are you being so sweet? Like, I want to stop the show and just pal around with you for a little bit. You wanted the attention, you know? And I'm trying to work. I'm trying to give him attention. I mean, he had like kitten eyes again. He seems very youthful sometimes. This is one of those. Anyway. All right. So that was, man. And just, yeah, I could tell he was very much loved. He was. And Kenneth, I appreciate you, sir, dropping a super chat. Here's to Nimbus. Yeah, let's do a simultaneous sip to Nimbus and Scott Adams, a guy who I'd looked at as a podcasting mentor. He was just an interesting thinker. I really enjoyed the show. Got a lot out of it. He passed away within the past year, 6 months ago or something. I mean, it's been a lot of loss for influential people, but cheers to Scott and Halo and Aster and Nimbus, of course. If you'd like to join me in a simultaneous sip, all you need to do is grab a cup or mug or a glass, a tankard, chalice or stein, a canteen, jug or flask, a vessel of any kind. Fill it with your favorite liquid. I like coffee. And join me now for the unparalleled pleasure, the dopamine hit of the day, the thing that makes everything better. It's called the simultaneous sip in honor of Mr. Nimbus and Scott Adams. And it happens now. Go. My soul feels comforted already. Thank you, Kenneth, for the super chat. If anybody wishes to send flowers for Nimbus or contribute, another $5,000 vet bill by the time cremation and everything is sorted out. Rumble rants and super chats and all those things. I'll put the other thing on the screen here. The captions. Yeah, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. All scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Thank you. Yeah, in honor of Nimbus, anything, whenever comes through here, it's going to pay the hundreds to the vet. For yesterday, just emotionally draining. You have a Nimbus? You had was it a cat or a dog, Ortho? Named Nimbus as well, under a magnolia tree. Yeah, I considered just burying Mr. Nimbus, and I don't know. Hey, what good choice is there? There is something that you could do. I know that some people will take cremains and turn them into things. Like maybe like a piece of jewelry. You can include them somehow and wear them around with you. Well, rest in peace to your Nimbus as well. Was he a cat or a dog or she? Russian gray. Yeah, just like Nimbus there. Oh, that's wild. Oh, yeah, Nimbus was a dark gray storm cloud for sure. Oh, man. Russian gray, just like my Nimbus. Yeah, Nimbus did have a forever home. Just like I started calling the downstairs area when Halo got sick. It was not pleasant trying to negotiate and navigate. How many litter boxes do we need? Do we need pee pads? Okay, I guess we got to roll up and throw out this carpet now. And it was just like, is there any easier way to, they were good when they were good. And then when things weren't working well, they weren't working well. But yeah. Throughout all that, it was like, okay, well, I guess this is what I got to do now. And yeah, yesterday, prior to him jumping and, his injury and alongside all of the other things, it sure seemed like yesterday was a day that he was having problems before that exact moment. Because as I went around to go, gather things to get his carrier and this and that, there were multiple areas in the downstairs where he had sort of lost control of his Nimbus ran out of movements. He ran out of his body just broke down yesterday. So yeah, that led to almost a day of breaking down emotionally. So, Nimbusita, the female. Nimbusita. I had a panther and it turned into Pantherita, Panterita. She passed away as well. She was adopted out to a forever home and passed. Well, that's interesting, Ortho. We both had a Nimbus. Cheers to both of our Nimbuses. Oh yeah, I had a chance to say goodbye. I wish I didn't. As weird as that sounds, for years I would walk into where he would be, and he'd be sleeping, and I'd look and I'd go, "Are you? Can you see his chest? Can you see him breathing?" Because he had issues, and you just never knew. Cats get 17, 18, 19. It's like a 100-year-old cat. That's a lot of age. And this was an unanswered prayer. I did ask God, this has been brutal. Having to ease the transition of. Do you hear Ben yelling in the other room now? One of the reasons why I closed the studio door. Ben, I'm in here if you want to come up. Yeah, come on. But I did. I prayed. I said, "Dear Lord, I am so tired." And Nimbus is he's tired too, and his body's breaking down, and I don't know how much pain he's in, but he's got to be in pain. And it made everything so tough. For him, it was tough on us. It was tough on us together. It was tough on if I would leave town. I mean, this is twice a day, someone needing to come over and take half of a pain pill and dissolve it into a couple drops of water, filtered water, and then mix that in with wet food because he couldn't have the dry food anymore. It used to be easy with the litter robots. The litter robot here that just cleans itself. And there's a water fountain that he loves the water fountain. I have a video of his last day yesterday, right before I had to take him into the vet. Just drinking tons of water fountain downstairs. That was with us in Los Angeles. It's been cleaned 1,000 times, and he'd sit back down. He'd eat food at breakfast, and he'd often, God, I'm just going to talk about Nimbus today. Didn't even want to. No, I mean, I want to, but I don't want to just babble and cry. We got news to get to, but he would do this thing where he would find something. It could be anything. He loved folders or magazines. He would do this. And he would just paw at stuff, things that would make noise, dink, dink, dink. And he would try to wake me up if I was taking too long. He'd come over and walk on me sometimes. He'd meow. He'd do that thing just to wake me up, like my rooster, Mr. Bean, you coming in? And I'd give him his half pain pill, and then because he wanted to keep it in his body all day, along with the monthly injections, twice daily medications for pain. You don't want the guy to suffer. And he'd eat his food, but then he'd walk away. And I'd be washing dishes or doing other stuff, show prep, and he'd leave. And he'd go down, and you could hear it. I do have a video. I don't have it posted anywhere. But there was a very distinct noise to Nimbus drinking his water. And you could hear it from upstairs. Here, how can I do this? Hold on. I'm going to find a way. I will find a way. Technology is not failing me today. It's just acting up a little bit. All right. There we go. My green screen. There we go. If I have something in front of it, I can show you. But this was the noise I would hear shortly after feeding Nimbus, and then he walks away from his food. And then if he walks away from his food, Mr. Ben, would go start eating his food with the medication. I'm like, no. Yours is over here. And then I'd have to move him to the other room. I mean, it was the amount of bandwidth it took to change his diet, to do the twice dailies, to keep one cat from taking the other cat's food, to give one cat treats but not the other so he wouldn't get sick. It was a nonstop daily task, but this is what I would encounter. Can you hear it? Just going at the water fountain. And I would hear that from the other room. And there I am.
Mr. Nam. I love you so much, buddy.
Yeah. So that was my yesterday. Whew. Oh God, when did vets stop being affordable? Oh my God. Yeah, just Saturday it was $90-something for his monthly shot. I'm like 3 years of that, $3,600. But it's like whatever. I was investigating with Aster. Okay, you got this big tumor growing on your jaw, and every day it's getting a little bigger, and then you can't really close your jaw, and then your tongue's hanging out, and you're drooling, and it's like it's just getting worse and worse, and we can't treat it. You could do a mandible removal where you just take out and it's like then it's like a lifetime. And it's at what point is it torturous to the cat? Like, what am I doing this for the cat or for me? Is his quality of life? And there have been a lot of conversations about Nimbus quality of life. But I said, as long as he has spark, as long as he has mobility, yeah, but it was like $100 a visit. And then it was, well, I just ran out of the split in half pain pills. Let's do another, I don't know, $60, $30 for a month of pills. So it's $120 a month plus the, then you got the vet visits. Then yesterday it was the injection and then the cremation. And then you just going, but it's like, if I had I took Aster to multiple specialists. Is there anything I could do? Is this worth doing? Is it something that will he be? And they all just said, you could, but I've seen cats just go through it and they don't survive it. It's not easy to survive. I've seen cats go through it and they're miserable and they're in constant pain. And it's not just super expensive, which it would have been to try to help Aster. And Aster is so strong and just vibrant and loving. And but his body failed him. And it was like, it started, changing the shape of your jaw, and then the teeth are moving and the roots, and can't chew, and tongue, and just, there were no good options. Had somebody said, I've had success with this here, this is what I did for this cat. Here's how long they lived. They had a lot of fun. They were all just like, you could, but I would not do that to my cat. It's not a good likelihood. It's very difficult. It's super expensive, and it's not like my Chevy Blazer in Los Angeles. When my engine went, a cracked engine block or whatever, it was like, well, for a couple $1,000, we could go to the junkyard. We can get you a new engine for this, a new rebuilt engine. Couple $1,000, you got a good car here. But at the end of a couple $1,000, you're going to be in a good position. You'll be back on your feet again, back on the road, back up and mobile. Much like with the surgery, pretty good success rate. But this was like, yeah, It'd be a couple $1,000 up front, and no idea if your vehicle is going to even run. And 97, 98% of the time we do this, the vehicles don't run. So if you want me to try, I will. Also, it's going to be very painful for the thing that you love. And it's like, damn it, I got to make this choice. Don't make me make this choice. And yeah, like when in the comments, at least you got to say goodbye. My prayer was, please don't make him have to go through this, and don't make me have to go through this. Just take him in his sleep, please. Whenever it's his time, please take him in his sleep and don't let him suffer. And that wasn't how it went down. I mean, I've seen him wobbly, just gets up and starts walking, and like the whole back end just kind of falls and goes off to the side. But he would regain his balance, and we'd keep it up, and he couldn't do everything he used to, but he'd go up and down those stairs for that water every day, But yeah, I prayed, please, when it's his time, and don't take him too soon, but when it is his time, please do it fast, do it painlessly, do it in his sleep. And that wasn't in the cards. And I don't get to, but he was still a trooper through the very end. I mean, I'll one of these days, I'll share some more stories. I do have a book that I've wanted to write for a long time, along with the screenplay for another project. Screenplay for Moon Saloon, and then a book called Nimbus Loves Christmas. Oh, man. When we would put up the Christmas tree, I mean, he would tear around the house, running and jumping and climbing up into the tree. Yeah, I'm feeling very motivated to make the book or the animated series Nimbus Loves Christmas. Nimbus and Friends. So many foster cats over the years. And it was a great and a greatly challenging 20 years. That's for sure. But I mean, when someone's with you for damn near half your life, I mean, damn. My brother was with me, didn't quite make it to double that. He lasted 39 years. Nimbus made it to 20. That's over 100. And how old is 20 human years in cat years? Roughly exactly 20 years old. 96. One cat year is 15. 2 cat years is 24. So it's the first year is 15, then 9. Then each an additional year after the first 2 is 4 years. Wow. 96. Roughly 96 years old. But yeah, anyway, no, vets have been anything but affordable. So thank you for the super chats. I think I saw something on this device before I pulled it down to look at where'd that go? To show you that video of Nimbus drinking. Yes, thank you, Patriot Warrior Texas. Sending the prayer hands and $50 Rumble rant for any extra expenses for sweet kitty Nimbus. Thank you. 96. That's as old as my mother, says Ortho. Yeah. Anyway.
If you own a gun,
I didn't turn the volume up by that time. But thank you guys. This is, it's just going from one hand to the other. It's going right through your Rumble rants and right through your super chats, over to me, over to Visa, over to the vet. Yeah, it was, I don't know, 300, 400, 500. And it just, Yeah. Anyway. Dina says cats like running water because most cats have an aversion to water from ancient times. Yeah, and running water is typically fresher, cleaner, more drinkable. Absolutely. David says, well, I would say we are all here for you, Brian. I know. You've hung out. You've hung out with me today for part of my Nimbus eulogy. So thank you. Yeah, Kenneth, why don't we have government-sponsored pet care? I mean, I've thought about, like, why don't chiropractors? Why can't you just have, oh, hey, I'm a human. Can I go into the chiropractic place and just get adjusted? And oh my goodness. I got adjusted today and I was a wreck. Neck, back. They did the hip rotation. And I grew up in a family. My mom used to work at a chiropractor, and so I would go. And I started making my own adjustments, but then they're like, you really shouldn't be adjusting your own. But, there's ways you can do it. But I'm like, well, why can't just every human go into the place like a body shop? Oh, your tires are off balance. We're going to rotate the tires. Oh, your body's off. When they spun my hip, I mean, I had I think I counted 7. It could have been 9 or 10 on the left rotation. I mean, when I was done, I brought my left leg back over and just flopped it off. I'm like, oh my goodness, I think I need a cigarette after that. And I haven't been a smoker in so many years. But yeah, I mean, just, oh, here's a cat, needs some help. I don't know. We don't want to get universal basic income is a very big trap. I understand kind of like where it's headed. Universal health care. Look no further than to Canada for euthanasia. It's like, well, we could treat Nimbus, but he's 96 years old, just off him. And it's like, to some degree, you go, well, you reach an age and you can't operate. You can't. And there's so many problems at this age. But it's different when it's like, well, you're 21, but you've got these issues. MAID, MAID is the Assistance in Dying program where they're euthanizing people. And, well, it'll save a few bucks because someone's always counting the bucks. I don't know. Government-sponsored pet care. Call it Lassie care. Anyway, yeah, Kenneth says may we all be blessed to sleep through our ending. Oh, man. And it was so weird. I told you that story a few months ago where I got a phone call that there was there was a cat that it looks like it got hit by a car and it was writhing on the side of the road. Can you come help? And by the time I got there, the cat wasn't moving. It was in the rain. It was like a Russian blue. And I picked the cat up and laid it gently into a box and took the box to the vet. And I said, I don't know what's going on. This cat was on the side of the road. It was moving. Now it's not. And, but when I filled that out, I didn't know, maybe it hurt its leg and you could work with that or something. But the cat passed and I had to fill out a form that I was surrendering a cat. And he was kind of like a Russian blue. And I said, he filled out the form and I named him Nimbus Jr. And while Izzy was here, I'll show you one more. So that's a pretty good picture when Izzy was here. I guess there's 2. But yeah, Then Nimbus got really sick while Izzy was here. I think maybe he got into some Dairy Queen somehow, and then he was super sick and then super dehydrated, and then he was upstairs where it was hot. And I thought, oh man, he was panting and he was dehydrated, and I'm like, he's gonna expire if I don't do something. And I took him back to that same 24-hour vet, not my normal vet. And we waited in the room for a while. I'm like, can we give him an IV? What do we? And Nimbus finally perked back up. And I'm like, are you okay, buddy? Can we get home? Can we get through this? And we brought him back home. And then he ate and drank a little bit because he hadn't been eating or drinking. And I'm like, I think he's gone. And so it was like with the cat that was on the side of the road and that incident where I had to rush him to the emergency. It's almost like both of those incidents were preparing me for this. You never expect it to actually happen. You never really anticipate, like, whatever. He'll be fine. He's always fine. Even when my mom went into hospice, I'm like, she's fine. She's always fine. She survived an aneurysm that dropped her in a parking lot, had to be helicoptered in. They put gold stents in her brain to something for blood vessels, and you just always, that song Till You Can't that Kid Rock covered for the Super Bowl halftime show for Turning Point USA. You can always get around to doing that thing until you can't. Until you can't. I loved that song, and it's just that story of thinking you have infinite time, but you just don't. So when Nimbus jumps up, you cuddle with him. You dote on him a little bit. Anyway, let me show you this. Where's the other? I gotta go left. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll find a way to put these online and I could show you. Okay, good. I went the right way. There's Nimbus with Izzy playing video games on the couch. And Nimbus and Izzy were best buddies in Los Angeles when Izzy lived with me for a while. When Izzy needed to get on his feet. 5th grade, we fostered Izzy just like we fostered Nimbus. And he just loved being around people. Just loved it. Hold on. I thought there was one more. Yeah, that was the day Nimbus was just not doing well. And I'm like, buddy, you got to eat. You got to drink something. And he was just, I'm so sick. And I'd cleaned up around the house for hours. I don't know what other pictures are on here. Oh, this one is so... That was the bed that he jumped off of. And, the body ran out of movements. And it was a decline over many months, many years. It wasn't just one thing. Mr. Ben. But yeah, that picture is just so sweet. Him looking out the window. It's hard to see. But anyway, you get the point. You get it. How Nimbus stole Christmas. Anyway. I keep telling my mother-in-law that. Yeah, maid is criminal. I mean, that's what happens. Kenneth, grateful for the time that you had together. I know. I'm trying to process the could I, would I, should I, did I, and that's just, oh God, I can't imagine knowing a vet on a first name basis. The vet tech had a game. He would say, well, Nimbus smells like bubble gum today. I'm like, he smells like bubble gum? Yeah, he smells like bubble gum. Oh, he smells like roses. He smells like roses today. Like different days, I don't know. Yeah, I was on a first name basis with my vet. My keyboard is going to short out for my twos. Yeah. Yeah. I've had tears falling on my shirt. on my cell phone, on the desk. Just oh yeah, that Till You Can't song is so good. Yeah. This is Nimbus's wake. Yeah. Eyes keep leaking. Yep. Yep. Or I thought you said your Nimbus loved video concerts. You like watching a concert on TV? Is that what you mean? Okay. Well, this isn't as this is not as comprehensive as Nimbus's wake needs to be, but that's what we have today. So didn't even want to bring it up because I just kind of can't talk about it, But that was my yesterday. How was your yesterday? Other than the ending, how did you enjoy the play, Mrs. Lincoln? Oh, good grief. Oh, okay. Your Nimbus loved watching DVD concerts. That's awesome. You're right. The proverbial question, is it better to have loved and lost? Okay, here's an agree or disagree question. Is it better to have loved and have lost than to have never loved at all? Do you agree or disagree? Tell me in the comments. Yeah. The goodbye is the toughest part. Kenneth, Nimbus was blessed by both you and the Lord. I mean, we helped each other. We were all right. Last Nimbus post for now. Let me double. Oh, I can't show that one. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, this lighting. I need to upload these so I can just slideshow him. But there he is, just sleeping on the whatever the credenza, whatever you put your feet up on, whatever that's called. It's one of my photo boxes where I'll take pictures for selling things on eBay. Oh, you're working in that light box, you say? Nah, I'm gonna go in here and start meowing at you. He's not hissing. That's him meowing. Can't show you that picture. But there was tired, exhausted, broken down Nimbus right before we took him in. I mean, his body just stopped moving, and if you saw, I mean, he was man. All that to show you one final picture. I have one final picture. If I can get to it. There he is, cuddling on the couch, just laying his. There we go. Just laying with me on the couch. Just you couldn't ask for a much better friend. There we go. Here, how do I do this? Will that work? Anyway, you get it. You just love to be loved. And this, all right, this is the final one, I promise. There's me on the bed, crying my eyes out, cell phone in hand, once I got the word that my brother had died. And I just had to stretch my body out and laid there, and Nimbus came over and he knew I was crying. And I mean, that right there is just, consoling me. Just at my most completely spent. And he came over and laid with me and gave me some comfort and strength and love. And it's just, today sucked. He wasn't there asking for food in the morning. I didn't need to do the wet food parade. But look, Nimbus was a part of this show. This is not just incidental. He was a part of the show. A lot of shows. And he was blessed by both me and the Lord. And, he gave me strength and love, and I tried to give him strength and love. We were there for each other through a lot of stuff. So, Alberta Arnold says, Brian ain't done with the grieving process. As long as there's a memory, there will always be the good times and the sad ones. Love is an amazing thing, something that a computer will never experience. I know, some very nice photos. I have 20 years of Nimbus photos. Good grief. How am I going to put these all into one spot? You can't. But I'm going to work on Nimbus Loves Christmas. I don't know what greater universe I can create to make it a... But all those foster cats, they all had their own personality, and pets are the fingers of the Lord. Pets are the fingers of the... And here's the thing. Smokey was my cat, the Russian Gray, growing up. One of the guys on my baseball team had a litter of kitties, and we adopted that one cat, who was my growing up cat from 5th grade till I moved out, and 15 years later, or whatever it was, 10 years later. And then Nimbus came and found me. Neighbor called up, Brian, there's a cat in the laundry room. Mew, mew, mew. I guess I got a cat now. Brought him right in, hanging out with me and Gizmo. Loved Gizmo, my rescued cat from the former lead singer in my band. But yeah, 2 Russian Greys have found me, and 2 Tabbies have found me. I had Les and Mo and Les. Get it? Mo, or Smokey, was the Russian Gray when I was growing up. Mo and Les. Les was the Tabby, the outdoor-indoor. Then I get to LA. Russian Blue finds me. Have him for 20 years through all of the ups and downs of 2 decades. From way back in the George W. Bush administration. Can you, like, that doesn't even seem, that feels like a million light years away. And then Ray Charles found me. His eyes were swollen shut, and he needed help, and we gave him help. And they almost euthanized him, and we adopted him out, but they wouldn't neuter him because he was too sick. But if they didn't neuter him, they were going to put him to sleep. And I said, just come on, give me the cat. Well, we can't let him out unless he gets neutered. Then neuter him. Well, he's got a sinus infection, and we're worried that if we put him under, he's going to die. I'm like, you're going to kill him tomorrow if you give me the cat. One of the neighbors complained, and they rustled up neighborhood cats. I'm like, no, that's my cat. So we put a collar on him after that. And one day he stopped coming around. Don't know what happened to him exactly. One day Morris, the orange cat, stopped coming around. Not sure if it was coyotes or a car, or they got adopted into another home. They just disappeared. But Nimbus and Ray Charles were like Smokey and Les. I mean, I've had the same two cats join me on journeys, and I'm not convinced that it won't happen a third time. But I don't know. I just wonder if I could ever do. What? Brian, this is crazy. My son's Russian gray is Mo. What? Oh, come on. Well, I mean, Smokey and Nimbus are great names for Russian blue cats. Just smoky color, or Nimbus, a dark gray storm cloud. Oh, man, was Nimbus. Oh, we had... Yeah, we had conversations over the years about what we could do and what we could not do inside the house. And the one day Nimbus ran outside and then ran out onto the awning or the fascia, and then jumped in the tree and then got on the roof, and we're 2 stories up. And anyway, Nimbus ate Christmas. Nimbus loves Christmas. Nimbus loves Christmas. Every summer he cuts all his fur off, but one 1 inch from head to tail gives him a mohawk. That's funny. All right, Ortho. Yeah, we're cat brothers, I guess. We're cat family. Anyway, thank you guys. There's no way I could have done the show without talking about it. I can't pretend that that's not the big thing that happened. But I really enjoyed playing that show. That if it wasn't out of normal rotation, that late night show from, I think that was from Thursday or Friday, I wouldn't have had those moments with Nimbus on air with you so recently, talking about his youthful eyes, and just, he was being so sweet. You know, once I process and compartmentalize and just wrap up all of the other thoughts and questions and second guessing, you know, I'll try to keep going back to those great moments. My friend's cat, Steven, was a big fan of Cat Steven. All right. Thank you for the laughs. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for just being here. Thank you, everyone. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with a friend, invite some people in. We talk about more than cats, but Nimbus was more than a cat. He was family. You just never anticipate that you will be living through a day that's the first day without your family. Siblings, cousins, parents, children, grandparents. Like you just never think that you're going to have that day where it's the first day that you open the door and he's not right there sitting in that patch where the sun goes through. He'd get up and come over and get some scritches. He'd like that spot at the ears. Love the chin. Give him a little chin music. The brushes he didn't love so much. He'd gotten so bony over the years, and it just wasn't comfortable for him. He did like aggressively getting, I got like 4 different brushes. They all do sort of different things. And you get the one and you'd lift up like on his lip. He loved like getting brushed aggressively that way. I'm like, let me hold it there. And he would move his head to like get it to do what he wanted. I'm like, all right, I don't want to go too hard as long as you're happy. All right. Grays are the best, Brian. Gray aliens. Graylians. Are we not universally calling them Graylians? We should. Apparently there's 4 different types. Nordics, Graylians. What do they call them? Like arachnid or praying mantis or something. I don't know. Patriot Warrior Texas and Rumble. By the way, make sure you're following the New American Media on Rumble at the New American Media. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. You know, and if they threw a party for everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. Yeah, I've said that to him so many 1,000 times. All right. Let's get to the news, shall we? God, I think we just need to reset. Let's just reset this whole show. This is the TNAM Daily Show. I'm going to refill my coffee cup.
Your guide to the truth. The New American Media.com.
And it's so weird even now, just as I leave the studio and go into the other room and grab the coffee, Nimbus would be right there, laying down right there in the kitchen. Or he'd be over on the couch and I would look over there. And it was tough because Nimbus would get right up on your ankles sometimes, and he'd be right, like you'd turn the, it's like, how did you get there? And I don't want to trip on you. I don't want to hurt you, and I don't want to hurt myself. That's for sure. I just keep glancing around because I just got so used to worrying, are you okay? And let me check on you. And because he was deteriorating quite a bit over the past few months and the past few years. And when you're close to it every day, you sort of don't see it sometimes, but you'll have people over and they're like, ooh, he's having a hard time. I'm like, is he? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, but he's doing okay. Like, are you sure he's still having a good quality of life? I go, I think so. Yeah. He up and down the stairs and he eats and has a good time and we talk. But yeah, anyway, just getting the cup of coffee. He would be right there in the kitchen, but not today. So cheers to you, Nimbus, and thanks, everyone. Thank you for just hanging out. Oh, donuts sound so good. I want to eat my feelings away. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll go have a nice dinner today. Oh yeah, by the way, you know how I share all this stuff with you? There was a whole bunch of other stuff this past week I will not even get into. I have not mentioned, might have alluded to, but not going to mention now. But maybe a celebration of life for Nimbus and a near-death incident that could have claimed the life of somebody very important to me. Yeah, You said donut, and I'm like, I try not to normally eat sweets. I don't buy them I can't buy that shit when I go grocery shopping. I can't do it. Oh, I asked you a question, a comment of the day, and I didn't even acknowledge it, but I think you were all saying, agree, it's better to have loved and have lost than never to have loved at all. David agreed with Marion. Yes, Kenneth, loved and lost. Yes, I do agree. Oh, there was your wordplay. Me how? Meow. Yeah, I will share. Man, how many folders do I need to open to get all the Nimbus pictures now? Oh God, so many years, so many fun experiences. Can't keep talking about them, so I'm going to keep moving. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to acknowledge I can't ask you a question of the day and not talk about what your answers were. And yes, David, let's make today better with some horrible stories in the news. Let's try to ramp this thing up with the most atrocious fucking stories you will ever see. You said donuts. I was like, oh, I want something sweet. And then I was like, maybe I should go to that really nice Brazilian steakhouse place. Just let me get a good meal. Let's go out and celebrate that I didn't have someone else to bury this week. You just any day. And there were anyway. You said donut, and my brain went to, oh yeah, I wanted. What should I eat today? Oh, I should eat that. I don't know if I will or not, but like, and kind of thank you, sir, for the super chat. For you, not the vet. What is the sound of one hand clapping? What is the sign of two hands shaking? It's one and the same. But hey, thank you so much. I'm making you manic? What did I do? Am I drinking too much coffee? Am I bouncing all over the place? Yeah, well, you must like something about it, Dina, because you keep coming back. All right. Let's go through the news. C-SPAN. Let's click. Supreme Court. Audio.
We have lots of phrases that involve two words, the second of which is day.
In a major development, says official MAGA News, the U.S. Supreme Court is indicating it will invalidate any state law that allows ballots to be counted after Election Day. That's what he's talking about here. The two words, Election Day. Justice Alito. Is that Alito? Why does he look like Roberts? Does he look like Roberts? Am I confusing? Anyway, Justice Alito pointed out that it's called Election Day for a reason.
Labor Day, Memorial Day, George Washington's birthday, Independence Day, birthday, and Election Day. And they're all particular days. So if we start with that, if I have nothing more to look at than the phrase Election Day, I think this is the day in which everything is going to take place, or almost everything. And then we have 3 points in time, 1844, 1872, 1914.
We'll finish his thought there in a second, but I did ask Grok. Okay, so there's Alito here, and then Roberts here. I mean, they're not too dissimilar looking. They're both older white dudes. I mean, sort of unremarkable. I knew Roberts looked like Roberts looked, but I guess I just didn't have a clear vision of Alito. Anyway, let's go back to what he's talking about here.
And we can ask, what would people have thought on those days is
They're going back to a few different points in our nation's history.
meant by this phrase, Election Day? Which of those should we choose? Which of those dates should we choose?
Well, I think you could choose any of the three. I mean, honestly, I think the single best one, if you're just going to choose one, is 1872.
We have lots of phrases.
So we'll see. Keep it going. Is there a second part? I guess not a second part, but they're signaling it. Stay tuned, because California has a lot of people questioning
We have
what a legitimate election looks like and what an illegitimate election looks like. David asking, does anyone know why at the White House they are displaying the emergency broadcast system colors? What are the colors of the emergency broadcast system? This is only a test. Yeah, that was Alito. I just had to see them side by side. Hey, Liberty Tango. Yeah. You got to meet Nimbus, though, right? You got to see him. You got to meet him. You're a relative newcomer to the show. He was long a staple. Yeah. You can roll it back if you want to see the wake for Nimbus. And I could do so much better if I had a minute to do it. I've only had 24 hours. Anyway, I digress. All right, let's go from a Nimbus to a Karmelo. Real common names here. Apparently, Elijah Schaffer is down here in Frisco, Texas. The BLM, Black Lives Matter protests. So Black Lives Matter when they're killing white people. Is that what the thrust of this is? I didn't follow the trial too closely. I didn't see it in my sphere. I caught some updates. I provided you some updates. But I don't know. Okay. In the comments, let me ask you, type Karmelo, Karmelo, in just a couple of words or one sentence. Did you follow the case? Do you think that the jury got it right by sentencing him guilty? I think. Okay, good. Liberty met Mr. Nimbus. That is good. Miss him so. All right, so random supporters are approaching random white people like myself and screaming at us, says Elijah Schaffer. Lots of anti-white racial slurs being thrown around. I've already been threatened and assaulted along with my crew.
I don't have an opinion. I don't have an opinion here.
Just like Karmelo was doing. I'm glad you just said that. That's what Karmelo was doing. Protecting his motherfucking self.
Was there a video that's been released that would give these people such confidence to scream at people that he was protecting himself? How do you know that? Wasn't there allegedly a video of this attack where Karmelo took the life of Austin Metcalf, the twin, as the other twin held him out as he died in his arms? Rob says, yeah, the jury got it right. Marion followed the case. Jury got it 100% correct. Was there a smoking gun? Was there any video? Was there anything tangible that would just go, oh, well, yeah. Like if you watch Kyle Rittenhouse, you go, he's being attacked in both at 3 different cases. 2 or 3 different cases. It was like out of an action movie. He handled himself admirably. Kyle Rittenhouse is a racist that went there and he shot 3. You go, huh? He was getting attacked by 3 dopey white people. The race had nothing to do with it. He didn't want to see looting and burning, destruction. But that's how they reported it. But then you watch the video and go, oh, that's not it at all. No, this is self-defense. This is clear. Jim, we will see you soon. Maybe tomorrow we'll have a show that jumps right into the news without a wake. We shall see. Karmelo, welcome to Karma. There you go. Every person and every witness said the same thing, says Marion. One teenage boy K'd the other one, period. Dina says, I was afraid they were going to get the verdict wrong, like Officer Chauvin. Yeah, who was trained to use that upper back, shoulder area as a place to keep a suspect detained. Like, they were trained to do that, and then he did that. And then the coroner report shows a lethal dose of fentanyl in his system, along with heart problems and all sorts of other issues. Yeah, that whole thing. And then they threw him in a cage into a prison where they attempted to take his life. He was stabbed 20, 30 times or something. And you're like, this guy, like, had a panic attack, a heart attack, an overdose all at the same time. He was panicking he freaked out. You watched it happen. It's not like the guy choked him out and crushed his neck or something and didn't hold him underwater like that one video from last week where they had a dispute on the lake. So some old guy is attacking a kid on crutches and tries to drown him in a lake. I didn't see any video of Karmelo Anthony, so I couldn't try to piece together an opinion. I mean, the kid was arrested and charged. You figured, okay, well, he is obviously the person that stabbed him. Do we have any information? So if we don't have any video that's going to implicate, not excommunicate. What's the word I'm looking for? If there's not evidence that's going to change the narrative of the story, well, then how in the world could these people be so fired up? So I didn't see anything. And I was wondering if you saw any video footage of this Karmelo Anthony case. I didn't really. Dina says, Chauvin is a political prisoner. A lot of people are saying that. Marion says, everything can't be racist, as racist would then have no meaning. Oh, we've been way past that. Everyone's a schnazi or a shitler or racist. Yeah, when you say that all day long, it loses all meaning. It doesn't matter. It's not believable. You start tuning it out. Yeah, Chauvin was calm looking, almost bored. It was bad optics. I mean, it did look like he was on his neck and K-ing the guy. It's sort of like it looked bad from one angle. And then you watch the whole background and you go, well, he's having a panic. Oh, wait, you pause it on this scene. It looks like he's swallowing the fentanyl at that moment so he doesn't get arrested. Maybe, maybe not. But then you can see he's having a panic attack. I can't go back there. I can't go back there. And he's in the back of the car. And then he wiggles out and he's freaking out, having a freak out, panic attack, heart attack, overdose, done. I didn't see Chauvin choke him out. And then that was the last time he ever moved. I didn't see him hold his head underwater. And it's like, all right, now that's what you got. Or wraps a plastic bag around his head. And then he's convulsing. And then he stops moving. You go, all right. Chauvin took the life of that guy. You see that dude was having a medically induced a substance induced heart attack, panic attack, overdose, and Chauvin was just like, all right, stay down. I mean, he didn't break his neck, it didn't smash his anyway. Marion says Karmelo admitted it as well. Libby Tango says the man attacked in Belfast was mentally. Yeah, you're jumping ahead of the story. I mean, yeah, we're gonna get to that. Spoiler alert: the man attacked in Belfast was mentally handicapped, and his eye was gouged out. Taken out. The other one completely ruined. So he already had a hard time communicating, and now he can't see. Oh, and his vocal cords were cut too. Oh, so as rough a day as I'm having, trying to lay my best friend and buddy to rest, after having the very unenviable task of having to make that decision on his behalf to make sure he's not suffering. That situation in Belfast was even worse. Exculpatory. Did I say exculpatory? I think I tried to say exculpatory several times, and the word wasn't coming out. David says if they did show us video, I'm sure it would be clear. Maybe. But if there is no video, what are these people talking about? How could you be so convinced of something that you have no evidence of? Oh, David says they had Chauvin on some serious corruption stuff too. I might have heard some of that, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I just don't know how this person can be so confident.
I don't have an opinion. I don't have an opinion here.
Just like Karmelo was doing. I'm glad you just said that.
The comment, I rebuke it. I rebuke it. She reminds me of Whoopi Goldberg.
That's what Karmelo was doing. Protecting his motherfucking self.
How do you know that? Protecting himself. The story was he was somewhere he didn't belong at all. Inside the tent, out of the heat and the sun, at a track meet where the track people have all of their belongings, their cell phones, their keys, their wallets, their cash. And he had zero business there. How do you defend yourself when many people claimed he was there to steal equipment, to steal gear, to steal personal belongings? I would just like to know what is so antithetical to what we all sort of understand to be the basics of this case without video evidence for us to review. What type of derangement syndrome is that to go to bat for somebody when you have zero evidence? Ortho saying Chauvin like Tina Peters. Political prisoners. That's an interesting take there. David says, I think the George Floyd thing, well, I mean, it ended up sort of brushing aside corruption charge. I mean, was he ever charged with that? I don't recall that. Dina says, as for the Floyd thing, Chauvin was innocent. The other stuff was hearsay. Rob says, every time there's an event, the reprobate all come out. Well, Trash Panda says, she looked like one of the worm things in Tremors.
I don't have an opinion. I don't have an opinion here.
Did they do that with the spinning the braids? All right. Well, I just don't get how people can be so sure of themselves without any information. So yeah, Aesthetica reporting here. According to locals in this video from Belfast, the man who was attacked in the attempted beheading was special needs. He had multiple disabilities, including bad hearing. So now he can't see and his vocal cords were cut, along with bad hearing. Are you kidding me? So yeah, thanks for the context, God. Sorry if I'm so snarky about that, but like, no matter how bad you think your day is, you just look at that and go, the living hell this human must be in now. Can't see, don't know what happened, don't know why, can't talk about it, can't really hear, can't understand because I'm mentally handicapped. What did you do? Who the fuck was this demon? How did they get there? Who brought this guy from Sudan to Ireland? For what fucking purpose? How did that make anything better? Who thought that was a good idea? Why did this guy do this? What vetting process was used? What value did that motherfucker bring to Ireland? I've got 1,000 questions, and it's happening everywhere. The absolute hell that this demon has caused that mentally handicapped individual. Special needs, we'll call it. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Well, you can't talk if your vocal cords are slashed. You already have a hearing disability. One eye was gouged out and the other's been completely ruined. Fuck. You know, I was waiting because every time a bad story comes out, there's a 72-hour rule. Oh, I have information about why he chose that one guy. That's in the stack. A little bit more backstory. Anytime there's a new story, everyone, please use the 72-hour rule. I don't know who to credit for inventing the 72-hour rule. I've heard Dan Bongino talk about it extensively. Haven't met or interviewed him yet. John Correa from Active Self-Protection, he's been on the show a couple times, a while ago. He always preaches the 72-hour rule, please. You saw a clip of something and you're outraged, just shut up. Just hang tight. Before you start running your Twitter fingers, running your mouth, running your X fingers, just, you got to wait 72 hours and get more information. And so when this story came up, it's like, all right, well, this is awful. I can dissect a couple sections of this story, but I don't know what else to do with it because I don't have as much info. I don't have the necessary info. Now, you won't have everything after 72 hours, but you're going to have a hell of a lot more than you have after 12, after 24. That's for sure. And I was waiting to get an update on this. And when we tried to look for an update on the condition, and it was unavailable as of showtime yesterday. And oh my Lord. Yeah, an onlooker is afraid to call the police or intervene. Until the guy with, I think it was a shovel, showed up and bashed him in the head several times, but that didn't even stop him. It's like, I don't know if that was a shovel. I have a lot of questions. But to just jump to a conclusion and like have everything figured out, nobody could have that information. So if someone's out there a little too aggressively, a little too quickly, just, you know, remember to slow down, back up a little bit. Yeah, David, it's hard these days to tell what's the truth. It's essentially impossible to tell what's the truth these days. But as long as you follow the New American Media, the TNAM Daily Show, we just share, we talk about all the things that people are talking about. It's up to you. You tell me. Is this fake news? Is this AI? Is this being misreported, misrepresented, intentionally misrepresented? Oh, I guess there were 2 migrants involved in the attempted beheading. Who was the other one? This story just makes...
That was attacked.
Here's the backstory on the incident in Belfast, according to Flavour of Ireland.
She says she used to babysit for him when he was younger. He's special needs and he's hard of hearing. Yeah. And she said, disabled. Well, she said that she knows the family well. She used to marry him. She said that wee lad has been living there, that young man, well, he's 47. She said he's been living there for about 2 years. And she said them foreigners that only moved in like 4 days ago. Right. And he was doing everything to help them out when they moved in. And it's not just one. There was 2 of them jumped him. But the news hasn't given it out yet. The 2 of them moved into the flat. Wow. And one of them was the one that was arrested. The other one hasn't been mentioned anywhere in the news yet.
But he was involved in the attack, allegedly.
This is what she said. This is why up in Rathcoole they're going ballistic, because the wee lad originally came from Rathcoole, and apparently
I'm starting to understand fewer words this lady's saying, but I'm trying to track this. Two illegal alien invaders moved in right next door to him in the same building, and the special needs person was helping them move and being friendly and helping. So both of them attack him? That's what they're saying allegedly is the story.
He did everything to help them.
And do you think the authorities are trying to cover that kind of thing up, that there was a second?
The whole thing, they're trying to blanket everything that's going on today.
The lad who was attacked was actually trying to help them move in?
He was helping them for the last couple of days. Apparently he's really kind, thoughtful wee lad.
The past couple of days?
Kind-hearted.
And The man's name is Stephen Ogilvy. I just wonder, can Elon help with the hearing, with the sight, Neuralink? I don't know what capabilities we have. Oh, yeah, it's happening everywhere. This is a global plan to change the fabric of your family, your local community forever. A global plan to buy up all the single-family homes and push us into tinier and tinier cubicle apartments. Destroy culture. I don't want 15,000 Michigan Wolverine fans moving outside of Columbus, Ohio into Springfield, Ohio, any more than I want 15,000 Haitians or Somalians or Irish or anybody, because that's insane. Except that's what the Democrats are doing. You don't need to call them Democrats. You can call them globalists. We shouldn't have our own unique identities. We shouldn't have peaceful communities. Mix non-compatible ingredients together like it's a beaker, like we're in some sort of science fair lab. Yeah, break down our will, break down our spirit, make the populace more malleable. Yeah, 2-on-1, 2 able-bodied people on a special needs person. And that's the thing about the Karmelo case. They're only saying that it's going to be 30 years. He's eligible for parole in 15. No, that's not enough. Yeah, media controlled by the globalists, and it is what George Soros wants. Yeah, this story.
That's what she said. She says, Margaret, he's the type of man, he would have done anything for anybody. She says, so he has been going out of his way to help him. Now, the reports we're hearing now is his nose has been cut, his eyes out, and he's blind in the other. That he can't hear anybody, it's hard to hear him. What life has he got when he comes out of intensive care?
What life has he got when he comes out of intensive care? We talked about MAID in Canada. We talked about pet euthanasia, suffering. What type of life does this Stephen Ogilvy have when he comes out of intensive care?
He's trying to cover that kind of thing up, that there was a second.
The whole thing.
So we'll see if there's a second person. Russia Today shows this. Police Service of Northern Ireland police do not share footage, say they, of Belfast beheading attempt on social media. Hey there, guy. I'm going to share the footage. I shared it yesterday. I really don't want to share it again. Oh, no. We are not sweeping this under the rug. Who brought these people in? For what purpose? How were they vetted? How was their background checked? Are they violent, crazy people? What value were they bringing? Why in God's green earth was it decided, and by who, under what jurisdiction? The phrase they use is culturally enriching Belfast, Ireland. Show me how this made the community vibrant and diversity is our strength. No, I would say a community full of people that would, babysit and look after the special needs guy. You grew up on the same street. You know the guy. You know their family. Then you get 2 foreign invaders violently brutalizing an indigenous Irish. It's a great name, Indigenous Irish. Say it 5 times fast. Indigenous Irish, Indigenous Irish, Indigenous Irish, Indigenous Irish, Indigenous Irish. Not easy. Yeah, Tango, that's the first I've heard about a second attacker as well. Belfast is burning because the people have had enough in Ireland. Yes, you guys are right. Yeah, you'll own nothing and eat chocolate-covered bugs. Hold the chocolate. Sir, they're eating too much steak. They're eating too much ground beef. Well, let's deploy trillions of ticks. Yeah, bioweapons attack. Do not share footage. No, we're going to share it. We're going to be nonstop on this. He says, we all remember over the last 2 years, significant disorder that only led to damage. Oh, yeah. 44-year-old Stephen Ogilvy. Okay. Belfast burning. Here we go. No volume here. This claim unverified, but they're saying a house in Belfast that was occupied by immigrants is torched. Is that the one where these two people live that just moved in? Attempted beheading of a local man by a Sudanese migrant. Locals keep breaking into migrant homes. Houses in multiple occupation, HMOs. A form of taxpayer-funded housing for asylum seekers. Go seek asylum somewhere else. It's every nation is a college. How are you going to improve the college? What credentials do you have? You don't just get in. Oh, yeah, Europe's been conquered. Absolutely conquered. Do they have the resolve to save their nation while they still can? Crazy Eddie's airline imported the crazy Eddie. You got an Ireland contact? All right, we'll contact him. Thank you for the super chat, Liberty Tango. Appreciate you. As I said before, any love shown to the show today, it's going to go to the few. I don't even know. I just barely signed. But it's like $300, $400, $500 for Nimbus's final expenses. So anything that comes in today, it's going right to Nimbus's expenses. Thank you to everybody. I appreciate it. Liberty Tango, time to storm the Bastille. I mean, most of Europe has fallen. But I guess these are the houses. Imagine taking your dollars that are supposed to be going to your communities, like maybe your special needs neighbors, and giving them to illegal alien invaders that claim these bullshit asylum things. Go asylum somewhere else. If you're exceptional and you bring all sorts of great stuff to the table with a great track record, and we can verify your identity and state your name and purpose, and are you going to blend in with the community or be like oil and water mixing around? Yeah, Bernie Sanders, Burnie. Solzhenitsyn says a communist system can be recognized by the fact that it spares the criminals and criminalizes the political opponent. Yes. That's exactly what we find ourselves in the middle of. And it's sort of why I've put my life on hold to fight for this shit, because we're not going to have anything left. A fourth Obama term. And you could argue that Trump's first term was Obama's third term. The Biden term was Obama's fourth term. Working in conjunction with Comey, Clapper, Brennan, and all the rest of the deep state traitors, traitors, literal traitors, destroying America from the inside out. That's their plan. We've had it too good for too long. Bring them down a few notches. How about no? America's next? No. America is now. America has been 20 years invaded and attacked. And yeah, this is a decades-long plan for sure. It's just, we all get it. We're all talking about it. We're not hiding from it. No, I know we're screwed, but we're not so screwed. Just, we got to stick to the plan. Just get it done. Get the work done. Reverse this. If they could do it, it can be reversed. Build out the infrastructure and protect this damn nation while we still can. Damn nation. Screwworms. I got a screwworm story, if I can get to it on X. But imagine taking your tax dollars that's supposed to go to help your community and giving it to people that hate you, that are going to come in. Imagine being a guest in someone's home, using their restroom, and just reaching into the toilet and throwing it all over the walls when you're done. You walk out and you're running your hands across the kitchen walls, and you grab the deep fryer, or the, what do they call it? The air fryer is what they use a lot now. You grab the air fryer off the counter, you pick it up over your head, and you start smashing the granite countertops on the island. Imagine being a guest in someone's home and killing the residents, stabbing and trying to take the head off of somebody. Yeah, you need to be hung as an invader. Isn't that what the story of Vlad the Impaler? Was Vlad the Impaler the source of the Dracula lore? You put heads on pikes. Took a stick and you pound it into the ground, you sharpen the end, and you took this. You showed what you do when someone comes into your community and starts disrespecting you on your turf. You execute them. That is foundational to the survival of a nation. You're going to have traitors. Well, then you better have executions. You're going to have invaders try to come in and ruin your nation and attack you. Yeah, that's you show up in this person that did this to this special needs person. Gallows, town hall, town square, in public, high noon. See that there? That's what we do to somebody that comes into our country and harms our people. That's what we do. We protect our own. And we're trying to protect this nation as best we can. Taking your tax dollars to take up housing that needs to be used for your people, to give it to people that are going to come in and abuse you. Oh, hell no. Do I condone burning down an HMO, houses in multiple occupation, which is a form of taxpayer-funded housing for air quote fake asylum seekers? Asylum seekers. Go back to your home and figure it out. I don't give a shit. It's not my problem to worry about you, especially when you haven't been properly vetted, especially when we see these stories in the news way too often for my liking. Way too often. Tell me, how many times was there an attempted beheading in Belfast by an indigenous Belfastian? Is it never? Let's go back to that.
Holy shit, man.
Multiple reports coming in suggesting people set up an anti-migrant checkpoint, multiple anti-migrant checkpoints across Belfast and Northern Ireland. No migrants in. Oh! I don't know who's in this car. I don't know the context, what happened before, what happened after.
Holy
fuck. From the Britney's broken.
Oh my god!
These people allegedly being chased out of the neighborhood.
What the fuck? Yeah, right? Why did you go out of the neighborhood? They just punched him. What the fuck?
Migrant invaders not welcome? Why would migrant invaders be welcome? Oh, you coming to cut the head off of my special needs neighbor? Yeah, you're not welcome here anymore. No. You were never welcome. We never voted on this. We never wanted this.
Holy
Anyway, I don't know what that story is, but that's how they're.
Shit. Oh my god.
There's a car on. Is that the same car on fire?
Shit. Oh my god.
Fires and riots reported across the city. Okay. TDG, don't know what this is. Irish are burning down the city of Belfast in protest of the Sudanese man being essentially let off the hook for scalping a native Irishman. Well, what do you mean let off the hook?
Send them home! 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 Send Send them home! 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 Send them home!
All right, yeah.
Send them home!
Grok question. This account says it's UK pilled. Stop pretending everything is fine. Do you see this guy? Riding him like a rodeo. Straddling over his head. Yes, the Sudanese man, often referred to online as the Sudan demon in viral videos, was arrested and charged with attempted murder in Belfast. Hadi Alodid, or Hadi Abi Alodid, 30-year-old Sudan national, entered the UK on a via the Republic of Ireland in 2023, claiming asylum in Belfast, granted leave to remain until 2028. So he wasn't illegal. Non-Irish citizen shows up, tries to behead resident. I don't care what the you want to call it. You can call it crazy to go along with this. Attempted murder appeared in Belfast Magistrate Court via video link, remanded in custody. The other person, there are no reports. No. They said there are no reports. There are reports of a second attacker. Has that person been arrested? Well, Grok doesn't seem to know about the video we just watched. No accomplices or other perpetrators been mentioned. Yeah, that's wrong. First man. Oh, no, second man. No, see, they're not getting it. Stop pretending everything is fine, because it's not. Police are backing up, and people are pissed at the government that did that to their citizens. Don't you dare bring in people that are going to harm our people. Don't you dare bring in people that are going to harm our people. Here is DUP, don't know what that stands for, political party, I guess. DUP leader Gavin Robinson describing the Belfast attack. And the volume is off.
Last night was chilling. It was medieval. The systematic mutilation and attempted slaughter of a citizen of Belfast on our streets. The victim belongs in Belfast, but the attacker does not. Having abused the privilege of our nation, the perpetrator living in the UK under a 5-year visa needs to be convicted and deported on the first flight out on a one-way ticket. Yeah. The attempted...
Yeah, we did not vote for this crap. Yeah, Grok was being really weird on that one.
The attempted murder in Belfast.
As bad as this story is, and it's about the worst.
No, he's not.
What would cause someone to do this?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Why would you want this in your neighborhood?
No, he's not.
Dude's crazy? Just a demon?
No, he's not.
This is nightmare fuel. Jenny Taylor says the Justice Minister of Northern Ireland focusing on the Sudan migrant allegedly who tried to behead a man in Belfast. Potential racism against minorities. Shut the front door. Americans are concerned with humans who do violent criminal shit or theft or vandalism don't come into my house. Don't steal from me. Number one, you weren't invited. You're not welcome here. And if you snuck in the back door, I've got every right to kick you out. Don't you dare steal anything. That's free housing. Oh, subsidized housing for asylum seekers. How about no? How about do subsidized housing for the special needs indigenous Irish person? Nobody voted for this. Nobody fucking wants this. Anywhere. Not Springfield, Ohio. Not Belfast, Ireland. Nobody wants this. But the deep state wants it. They want to demoralize us. They want to lower our quality of life, raise our living expenses, and brutalize us. And then come after us if we notice that the invaders are acting like an invading army because we're under attack. Oh my God, we're so bad for noticing that it's raining outside. Oh, sure is a hot one. How dare you notice it's hot? You're a cold phobe. You're heatist. Fuck you. 20 years of the Obama doctrine. Not that he's the mastermind, not that he's completely in charge of this whole thing, but he's a huge global part of this deep state narrative. This whole plan that nobody wants. Yeah, a demon in a meat suit, exactly. Yeah, the witness saw two men attack the victim. She spoke out about what people are saying. I don't have video of that, though. Good and evil. There are demons out there. There are angels out there. And yeah, brutalize. Matt Wall says, just one video of an African migrant cutting the head off a native citizen would be enough reason to shut down all third world migration forever. But as it happens, that video is just one reason of a billion others. A billion reasons not to do this. Matt Walsh continues, sure, they'll stab you in the heart as you walk down the street, or chase you down and cut your head off like a literal horror movie villain would do. But think of the delicious ethnic cuisine, the food trucks, the takeout. Yum. There's a Norm Macdonald joke. Let me see if I can get it. Norm joke about backlash. Let's see if we can get it. Oh, let me do this in the other order. The Daily Wire says, what's terrifying is if third world migrants were to behead Europeans, imagine the backlash against third world migrants. One of Norm's, Norm Macdonald is 2016. Norm Macdonald wrote, what terrifying. Man, I'm trying to think. What is my? No, what terrifies me is, if ISIS were to detonate a nuclear device and kill 50 million Americans, imagine the backlash against peaceful Muslims. What terrifies me is if ISIS were to detonate a nuclear device and kill 50 million Americans, imagine the backlash against peaceful Muslims. I'm sorry. Your priority is what now? Your priority is what now? Time for ortho. Never leave your cave without your club. Yes. I did play that witness saying that there were two people. That was the first I heard of it. I think, was it Jim said the exact same thing? It's like, oh, wait a minute. Or Liberty, yeah. I mean, there's impeaching leaders, there's corruption, there's treason. There's treason. But yeah, Daily Wire. What's terrifying is if third world migrants were to behead Europeans. Imagine the backlash against third world migrants. That is the logic of the left, of the deep state Democrat globalists.
There's so many clips being sent through to me right now of what's happening in Belfast, and it's not even completely dark yet. It's about to get absolutely crazy. Huge mobs of masked groups are attacking and...
Oh, yeah. Sorry if I didn't articulate that the right way. Norm was being sarcastic. That was the joke. Imagine the horrors of this thing happening. Could you imagine the backlash against the peaceful ones? How about, no, if you don't let any of this happen, none of this will happen. Well, only 14%. Katie Couric. Who is she talking to? Rand Paul? Let me find this. Link me YouTube video of Katie Couric with Rand Paul. Let's see if Grok can give me an X video link, because it's related, because none of these should have happened. This is anything above 0% is too much crime. Oh, it was 14%. Man, did I remember that. Check this out.
Less than 14% of nearly 400,000 immigrants arrested by ICE in President Trump's first year back in the White House had charges or convictions for violent criminal offenses, according to an internal Department of Homeland Security document obtained.
And by the way, I guess that document, that's it's not a real number anyway. It's not as low as 14%.
By CBS News. So isn't all this talk about ridding the country of violent criminals a massive overstatement if less than 14%, again, of the 400,000 immigrants being arrested are had charges or convictions for violent criminal offenses?
Yeah. Look to your leader in your community. I'm sorry to do this, but like, do they have this haircut? Do they have that condescending face? Do they have those glasses? Vote them out. Do you hear the mental gymnastics trying to say, well, out of 400,000, only 14% were violent? I'm sorry, absolutely insane lady. Can you say that again? 14% of 400,000 people is 56,000 violent incidents from people who have no fucking business being here. 56,000 attacks. And that's just what we know of. If that data that you're citing is accurate, which it is not. So fuck you, Katie Couric. And fuck you, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, the entire deep state Democrat system that's flooding our communities with demons. 56,000 violent attacks, and Katie fucking Couric, no cares in the world, trying to justify, no big deal. Can you believe President Trump is so crazy to care about 56,000 violent attacks?
Less than 14% of nearly 400,000 immigrants arrested by ICE in President Trump's first year back in the White House had charges or convictions for violent criminal offenses, according to an internal Department of Homeland Security document obtained by CBS News. So isn't all this talk about ridding the country of violent criminals a massive overstatement if less than 14%, again, of the...
A massive overstatement of 56,000 violent attacks? Are you fucking kidding me? You cannot vote Democrat anywhere. Democrat, globalist, deep state, whatever you want to call them.
The 400,000 immigrants being arrested
Oh my God.
are had charges or convictions for violent criminal offenses.
Well, I think the facts make a difference, and so that's one of the questions we will ask. And so when you come to Minneapolis, if they have a policy that says, oh, we're not going to turn over from our jails nonviolent prisoners, people who are, I don't know why you're in prison if you're nonviolent, but maybe you have a drug crime that's a nonviolent.
I think there are plenty of nonviolent people in prisons.
But the thing is that's not their policy. Their policy is we will turn no one over. So you can be, you beat somebody half to death, you get an assault charge, and you're in jail for a couple years, and somehow you're getting out on parole, and you're not going to be turned over, and you're illegal. I've got a problem with that, and so do probably most independents and Democrats. But that's what we have to ascertain. And the thing is that's not the policy of Mayor Fry. He did not come forward and say, we're not going to turn over nonviolent prisoners. He just simply said, we're not going to cooperate at all. And if you do cooperate, and this is Ellison's edict to them, it's actually against the law for you to cooperate. So if you happen to have a Republican county and a Republican judge who wants to turn over people in jail once their term has expired to be deported, they've actually made that illegal. And so we should have a debate in our country whether that's advisable. And I think most people are in the middle. I think most people actually hate what the use of force that they saw with Alexander Preddy. But I think if you ask them, if a guy's committed rape and he's in prison and he's going to get out, do you want him deported? I think people would say, hell yes, he ought to be deported. But
having said that, though, what about the 14%? Such a low percentage of 400,000 people.
Such a low percentage? She's fucking guys, I'm sorry. I sometimes care about cussing, and I'm trying not to on average, but I'm losing my mind. She is still trying to hammer home a point that it's no big deal that there's 56,000 violent attacks when there should be zero from people who have no business here, don't belong here, don't assimilate, don't respect the place, that's allegedly just... I just can't believe she's still banging on about this.
Got to be deported. But
having said that, though, what about the 14%? Such a low percentage of 400,000 people.
If your daughter gets raped by the guy that gets back out and he's one of the 14%, I don't think you're going to quibble about whether it's 14 or 64. What I'm saying is, if you're not going to,
who are not guilty,
if you're not going to turn over anybody, then that's.
But what about those other individuals who are not guilty? What about them? I don't care. You know what I care about? Erasing 56,000 violent attacks in our home. You cannot vote Democrat anywhere ever. No deep state, no Democrat, no globalist, anywhere. This would be a parody skit I would have a hard time believing was real if I watched it on Saturday Night Live.
0%. I don't think the percentage, it makes
it's about 0%. That was a good line.
If you're not going to turn over anybody, then that's 0%. I don't think the percentage, it makes a halfway argument to how much effort we have. But if Minnesota's not going to turn over anybody, the whole argument, whether it's 14 or 86, doesn't mean anything. So if they're not turning over anybody, then inevitably there are many emotional cases. You know, the Laken Riley case of a guy that had been arrested, should have been deported. He was a thug. He was arrested multiple times up in New York. The government paid to send this thug to look for a job in Atlanta. It was almost like, we'll give you a bus ticket so your crime committing person we'll send you to some other state.
Yeah, you'll be someone else's problem now. That's what a lot of these countries were doing, emptying out their insane asylums, emptying out their prisons. Oh, Trump's making that up. You've personally vetted 40 million illegal alien invaders? Oh, please tell me more. They don't know that.
But to Laken Riley's family, it was a big deal, and it is a big deal to people who care about what happened to her, that if that person had been deported. Now, you might tell me that person's an anomaly. He's only 1 in 100, but I'm Laken Riley's family. I don't care if it's 1 in 100. The 1 in 100 people who are violent, if that's a number, or if it's 14 in 100, we want them deported. And look,
there you go.
You're looking at someone who's moderate on this issue. I'm not. I don't appreciate what they're doing. I don't like the crowd control, but I do want violent people who are in prison detained and given over to ICE. And if Minnesota's not doing that, they're part of the problem.
I should point out, Senator Paul, that Laken Riley's father has cautioned lawmakers.
So snooty and condescending.
On both sides of the aisle to refrain from using her death as a political wedge.
She's so prepared with her talking points and so proud of herself. By the way, Senator Paul, Laken Riley's father said, do not use this case as a political wedge. With all due respect to the grieving family, I don't give a shit about placating to anybody. With all due respect to the grieving father of the slain daughter. We have our thoughts on the case, and with due respect, we will not shut up about your daughter. With all due respect, we see in your grief what could easily happen to us, and we'll be damned if we're going to sit by and shut up about that. It is political because the Democrats did this to your daughter by opening up the fucking floodgates. So, with all due respect, Katie Couric, I may have never seen a more disgusting 4-minute video clip from an alleged professional in the industry. Kenneth, Katie's putting the ick in Couric. Yeah, they are all operatives. Time for the military to show the people who's in control. I mean, can we? I'm so done waiting. Whew. Anyway, I've been holding in a lot of this stuff, just kind of biding my time. Did someone say Joe Biden? Come on, man. You know the thing.
Burning and protesting, and it's just a clear sign of when tonight dawns.
He thinks it's going to go crazy. Anyway, there's music over it, so I'm going to keep scrolling. Frisco, Texas, Elijah Schaefer shows a black man holding a White Lives Matter sign, assaulted outside Karmelo Anthony trial.
It's like my full-time job.
Why are you doing it?
No, I just punched him.
Hey, officer, you assaulted me. That's assault. I was just standing there, bro.
He hit the sign, nigga. He didn't hit you.
Yeah, he did. It goes through. It's hardcore. It goes through.
How old are you?
Cops couldn't arrest the assaulter due to the crowd size. I'm sorry, what? That's not a thing. Arrest him. Since when does nothing make sense anymore? Well, I couldn't get the mail because there was mail in the mailbox. Huh? Get the fucking mail. Well, we couldn't deport him because he's here illegally. Get him out. Well, we couldn't go get the groceries because there's groceries at the store. Go get him. every day I see stories. I go, well, why? Well, why? Why can't we do it? Yes, we can do it. And we should.
Don't do that. Get away from there.
I'm just holding a sign. That's my full-time job.
Great.
I'm just holding a sign.
New York, I know you said you were.
Tom Homan giving a press conference here. Here's a brief update on what's going on with New York.
New York, I know you said you were going to surge ICE agents there. Can you tell us when we can expect that to happen?
No.
What can we expect to happen?
You can expect more ICE agents go to New York because Governor Hochul signed legislation that ended our 287G agreements, where one agent can arrest one bad guy turned over by a jail. Now we got to send a whole team to look for that guy. So she took the efficiencies of the jails away in the 287G agreement. So it's math. One agent can arrest one bad guy in the safety and security of the jail, which is safer for the alien, safer for the agent, and safer for the community. But she decided to kill all that, so now we got to send more agents to do the job that would have took one person.
For you, are you confident in New York? I know you.
Full steam ahead. Okay. Well, New York did that to themselves. Let's see if they can push to get their Summer of Love 2.0 moment. Seems like that's what they're focused on. Sudanese murderers are coming to the United Kingdom.
Tell me where you came from. No one. Where? Where? Where did you come from? They won't talk to me. They won't tell me where they've come from. They're protected by women and NGOs. If they're fleeing war...
And look at that. It's the old white women. It's the awfuls. The angry white female leftist. The awfuls. Angry white female leftist. Or affluent white female liberal. It's like out of central casting. Oh, here's a kindly old grandmother that's completely brainwashed and acting like a foot soldier for the deep state.
Why are they fleeing their wives? Why are they fleeing their families?
That's a great point. Oh, you're seeking asylum? You're coming here on your own, without your wife, without your family? What, you want an anchor situation to bring 10 people with you? You're fleeing because it's so bad over there, but you're not going to take your most precious people, your children and your women? Seems like an invasion to me. That's an act of war. Nah, I'm going to treat it like that.
It's lies. It's lies.
There you go, angry white female leftist. 1, 2, maybe 3, maybe 4.
Safe country. France is a safe country. They don't want to stay in France. They don't want to stay in France. They don't want to stay in France. Yeah, they want to come to Britain. You're all headed towards Britain illegally. Someone tell me where you came from.
Maybe the tide is shifting. Maybe.
Someone tell.
Oh, God. Europe in 2026. Here's a tale of two pictures. I've been stabbed. I can't breathe. I don't think you have, mate. There you go. There's Europe in two pictures. Eyeballs and vocal cords, special needs. Attacked, lied about, handcuffed. Not helped, bled out. Okay, awesome. That's just... Yeah, there won't be a Shire, Pippin. There'll be nothing to come home to if you don't defend it. There will be no Shire, Pippin. This is a chase in Los Angeles, and the suspect gets out and shoots, and then he's gunned down.
Nothing from the U.S. is told.
Let's see, where are they?
Nothing
from the incident of being prepared.
Nothing.
Here's Marco Rubio talking about Iran. What's the latest? Saying that a U.S. helicopter was shot down, or it accidentally hit a drone, or it was a mechanical failure. And the two people that ejected were found within 2 hours, safe, uninjured. These are the reports I'm getting, but now there's going to have to be a retaliation, and they haven't accepted the terms fast enough. So this Iran thing is, damn it, unfortunately still a thing. I don't see this as a positive, but here we are.
I think from the U.S. has told them they can't come. I mean, the problem with Iran...
But in this case, they're talking about who can come into the United States for the World Cup soccer match.
It would be not their athletes. It would be some of the other people that would want to bring with them, some of whom have ties to the IRGC. We may not be able to let them in, but not the athletes themselves. But I don't know where that's coming from, other than speculation that Iran may decide not to come, and then Italy would fill their spot. But if they decide not to come on their own, it's because they decided not to come. What they can't bring is a bunch of IRGC terrorists into our country and pretend that they're, journalists and athletic trainers. Nothing.
Okay, so that's what they might be suspecting there. That's the reason they're given. Kenneth, as I've reached my twilight years, does it have to be in the Twilight Zone? Imagine if you will. No Shire, no Starbucks. No soup for you.
Nothing from the U.S.
Anyway, World Cup's here. In the comments, does anyone care about the World Cup? I do not. I tried to care once, and it was boring. I'll play a minute of Philip.
Now, I was very reserved in my last video. Not so much this one, because it's getting serious traction, and rightfully so. First things first, I don't know the condition of the man in Belfast. I hope he's okay. It's not looking good. There's so many reports that he's in critical condition. He's dead. His eyes have been gouged out. None of those things are surprising if you've seen the video. It's fucking disgusting. It's disgusting what he did. He absolutely destroyed him. An attempted beheading is what it was. So don't let the media tell you it was a stabbing incident or blah, blah, blah. It was attempted beheading. Civil war is coming. And now is the time to actually... It's coming now. It's coming for a long time. The left are very fucking quiet. The liberal lunatic left are very quiet today online. And rightfully so, because even they, surely to fuck, even they are waking up now and saying, what the fuck, okay, this is getting beyond a joke. Because they're trying to fucking gaslight you the whole time. Stop sucking the government's cock, liberal left. Dickheads. If you stand with the right side of history, you actually might get the government out. But if you keep sucking the government's cock, then no, you won't get it out. Surely to fuck now. Mary Lou McDonald has a lot to answer for above north. Micheál Martin, Keir Starmer, Simon Harris. These are our fucking leaders. Our leaders. It's going to get worse.
They're not your leaders. They were installed to dismantle and destroy and demoralize you.
Stevie Wonder can tell you and see that it's going to get worse. It fucking doesn't take rocket science. It's going to get fucking worse. It's simple as that. There's no point even bullshitting or sugarcoating it any fucking more. We now have an attempted beheading on the streets. It happened to Sligo a few years back. 2 men got beheaded for being gay to a Muslim man. But now, that was swept under the carpet, didn't last long. This has gone viral all over the place. This is going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. And hopefully so. Up the north, guys, the men in Belfast, I hope you have a good night tonight. I really do. And I hope you fucking destroy that government up there.
Peacefully and patriotically, of course. Destroy it legislatively. I'm sure he's saying. Anyway.
How is this not fraud?
Back to Karmelo Anthony.
How is this not fraud? They fundraise off their son murdering someone else. And then they spent all the money on cars and houses and didn't use any of the money to hire lawyers. Apparently, they got a public defender according to this. This should be fraud. They should be investigated and they should have to pay all the money back and maybe go to jail. How is this not fraud? They fundraise.
That's unbelievable. $600,000 allegedly. Almost unbelievable. Hold on.
How is this not fraud? How is this not fraud?
So have you been following this Democrat Senate candidate, Graham Plattner? Republicans page. Says, I would R them to show them that I'm dominant, was a quote of his. Graham Plattner posted explicit pictures on an app that's known for being a predator's paradise. Well, they say that, but it's like, oh, well, crypto is used in all sort of seedy activity. I'm like, cash dollars are used in all sorts of seedy activity. Well, you can't be on Silk Road. Some people ordered some hits on there. They ordered executions off of there. Oh, did they also order coffee? I mean, I don't know. So I'm not completely familiar with the website that he's posted. I think they said Kick, K-I-K, but not the Kick that we stream on. We stream on K-I-C-K. I believe it's different, I think. Twitch, Kick, YouTube, Facebook. Oh, are we streaming on Facebook today? I don't know if it ever came through. We were having glitches. Actually, I'd like to see if it came through. If I hit refresh, are we streaming on Facebook? Can anyone confirm if we are? I don't see today's show on here. Let me try it one more time. It's glitched all day. I wonder if they kicked me off. I need to switch to my personal profile to continue. Okay, so just connect it. But I think we're disconnected from Facebook now. Nope, account access has expired. It will not let me connect to Facebook. Fantastic. Anyway, Graham Plattner. Another alleged quote, spend your leave banging hookers in Thailand instead of getting bitched at by the wife back home. Oh. He's the guy with the Nazi tattoo on his chest, by the way. Of like the SS prison guards, I believe. Yeah, I don't see the Facebook feed either. It is messed up. I got some weird message yesterday. I think they dinged the account. They don't like us streaming. They don't like us talking about the California selection fraud. They don't like us talking about Belfast, Ireland. They don't like us talking about Karmelo Anthony. They don't like us talking about all of the stories that we talk about. So that's as good a reminder as any to just ask if you appreciate our show here. Consider becoming a subscriber on Patreon, Rumble, or YouTube at The New American Media. You can do like as little as $5 or $10 a month or more. And you can drop Rumble rant tips, super chat tips. PayPal is fuzzinstallment@yahoo.com, scrolling at the bottom of the screen, along with Venmo and Cash App. If you want to throw a tip into my tip jar back here as I bartend, I just say I'm playing guitar on the street corner with the guitar case open. If you're enjoying yourself, consider tipping your bartender. But we can't rely on Facebook, Instagram, Meta to grow. We just can't. We're being shut out of that. We were shut out of YouTube monetization up until half a year ago, maybe a year ago. It's direct support that we need to use to deliver news the way that is accurate. We don't care. We're not pushing a narrative. We're just trying to find out what's happening. And this guy, this Graham Plattner, is a real piece of work. Now, Corey's floating out. Let's consider this a fan fiction, conspiracy theory, a hopes and wishes. Yeah, we'll call it fan fiction. What if California, the mess out there, was intentional?
As I told you last week, I do believe this California election is a massive sting operation. I think the feds have them dead to rights, and I'm going to show you exactly how this was set up and how it's playing out. I'm going to go quick, so make sure you follow me so you can stick with it. So what happened? As we know, since my last update on the election, Rahman has come from behind and magically caught Pratt. And not only caught him, but did so in extraordinary fashion. Every ballot dump that has come in after Election Day has heavily favored Rahman. Matter of fact, favored her more than Bass herself. A lot of these dumps literally have more Democrats voting for Rahman than they do for Bass.
Makes no sense.
Mathematically impossible. But again, there's something bigger here that's playing, and I wanted to show it to you because there's some things here I want you to check out that I think you're going to find very interesting. Now, how is this sting operation going to work? Well, it all comes down to the groundwork. Let me explain. On March 31st, President Trump, 45-47, put in an executive order March 31st, ensuring citizenship verification and integrity in federal elections. Now, let me explain this to you. This is mainly directed at the post office and the postmaster general. In my last reel, I told you I thought they were going to use the mail to run a sting operation to where they could cash these fraudulent ballots. And this executive order sets that all in motion. How? The post office was ordered only to send out mail-in ballots and to accept mail-in ballots back that were sent to verified U.S. citizens that were properly registered and had a verified address. Everybody else, they're not supposed to send out the ballots to or accept them back from. That's what was put up. Now, what was interesting is last week, before this election took place, a federal judge actually upheld this executive order. A judge in D.C. Declines to block Trump's executive order on voting by mail, which means that executive order was and is still in place. So how are they going to be able to know these guys? All those mail-in ballots that are coming back in that are heavily favoring Rahman, okay, no coincidence there, are those legit? Are those coming from U.S. citizens verified by the postal office? Are they confirmed with real addresses, living in California? Remember, not deceased, not illegal, okay, and can't be living in a porta potty where we've seen a lot of these registrations. So are they legit? Well, there's a mechanism right here where the feds that we know are investigating already can use to catch them if they want. Let's see how it plays out. 45-47, it's getting good. As I told you last.
All right, that was Corey Jean Success. Not familiar, but I followed. So, follow it. Using the mail to catch the email. I mean, let's hope. Let's hope that it works.
Jury.
It's hard to look at the train wreck over there and reach other conclusions. I don't believe anything about this California selection. I just don't. I do not. And you can't force me to. By the way, I think earlier I said it was Karmelo Anthony was sentenced to 30 years. Only 35 years. Way too low. First-degree murder of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. Eligible for parole after serving half the sentence. Is he going to last in prison?
Jury just.
Remember, they threw Derek Chauvin in prison where he was stabbed all those times. You think people are going to be thrilled having this guy in prison? I mean, he was a kid killer because the kid was under 18. Let's listen to Jesse Waters.
Just sentenced Karmelo Anthony. We're going to be back with Brooke Taylor, who's live outside the courthouse. What do we have?
Hi, Jesse. Some pretty breaking news to give you right now. The jury has sentenced.
Pretty breaking? That's a weird, unnecessary phrase.
Karmelo Anthony to 35 years behind bars after finding him guilty of murder. I'm told that he is eligible for parole after he serves half his time. The jury had the option to give him as much as 99 years behind bars. But again, they have chosen to give him 35 years. And I do want to mention, we showed you those protests, a bunch of supporters out here. They've erupted again. Pretty shocking. This is a direct quote. I just heard one supporter say, quote, those twins, meaning the victim and his twin brother who were there at the time, are, quote, domestic racist terrorists. So
what? Based on what?
Pretty unbelievable, Jesse.
All right, well, only 17 years, and he's a jury just sent available for parole. Kind of seems soft. I would have given him the chair, but that's just me, Brooke.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Available for parole. Kind of.
Yeah, give him the chair. Right Angle News Network says Karmelo Anthony is 5'9", 130 pounds. He is going to be a fan favorite in prison. Well, I don't know.
Jury just.
Someone turned the current state of the UK into a Grand Theft Auto style video game. You want to see how absurd things are in the UK?
my daughter! Help me! Do something!
Calm down, ma'am. We'll file a report. Move along, please. Let them pray.
I said London feels dangerous now. That's not a crime.
Stop resisting.
They're fighting right there. I only posted the truth. You're arresting me for a post while they're beating each other in the street.
Delete the post.
This country's finished.
Leave me alone.
Where you going, love?
He said something racist to me. He attacked me first.
I got stabbed. I can't breathe.
Tough day to cover the news. Like this is all just, if I were king for a day, I'd wave the magic wand. These things are, things don't have to be this way. Yet they are. People say, where's the evidence? Elizabeth Barkohana puts this out. Allegedly, here's this person. Perfect crime, she says. Exploit a vulnerable population using witnesses whose testimony would be unreliable if you ever got caught. Allowing homeless addicts to register to vote opens the door to this type of exploitation. This is illegal and morally indefensible. Doesn't this count as evidence?
First and last name?
My name is Kevin Shepard.
Kevin Shepard. How long you been out here for?
About 5 years.
5 years? Damn, so they come out here and they're like, yo, we'll give you $2 to vote?
Yeah. Any type of petition they want you to sign, they can get swing for. Yeah, but that was for Karen Bass.
Oh, so $2 to vote for Karen Bass on a mail-in ballot?
Yeah.
And then you send it in? They took
it in the box.
Oh, and then you drop it in the box?
Yeah.
Oh, and then did they come down here and try and pay you to vote?
Yes.
Oh, on a ballot?
Yes.
Oh, how much they pay you?
$5. Karen.
Karen? They told you to vote for Karen?
Yeah. They had to sign a little thing.
And how much they pay you?
It was like $2.
First and last name?
Giving out $2, $4, $5 to vote for Karen Bass, they're saying. Is this evidence? Is this all fake? Does common sense in my eyes deceive me? Yeah, the justice system sucks. And yeah, Rob, a life prison sentence would have been better and sent a louder message with Karmelo for sure. Okay, so I guess, don't they have 37 days or something to figure out the California final vote? Well, Tim Pool points this out. Shares the Johnny MAGA post, says Democrats overwhelmingly vote late and by mail. Oh, wow. But only Nithya Raman Democrats, not Karen Bass Democrats. Totally insane stuff. Look at that. In green, just getting her ass kicked. Oh, yep, look, all of a sudden, we're going to go up all, yep, oh, of course, yep. Tim Pool says, when you're rushing to find the votes to knock out the sole Republican, you don't have time to balance out the count to look plausible. Yeah. It's literally unbelievable. What's this? Americans will call the UK crazy for allowing certain subgroups to carry weapons and not others. Like the Sikh. For some reason, Europe is like, oh, yeah, I guess we don't need to be armed to defend ourselves. Yeah, you do. You're allowed to. You're a human. You're not allowed to use weapons in violence to other people, but you're allowed to defend yourself. And if you're not, you need to remove those people immediately from positions of power and change the rules, I would say. But guess what? We're doing the same thing in public schools here in America. The Hopkinton Public School District in Massachusetts updated its weapons policy to allow initiated Sikh students to carry a kirpan on campus in 2024. You can carry small, dull blades. Well, as long as they're small and dull. Like Carmelo Anthony, maybe. They adopted a weapons policy. 3-inch long blades. A small, dull blade. Worn as part of their religious identity. Once again, I call on the Pope to make Christian identity a pistol and a knife. That's Christian identity. Carry it always. A shepherd must tend to their flock.
I'm sorry, man. What is the...
Nick Freitas is always great with these.
I'm sorry, man. What is the question?
But what do you want us to do at this point?
Outside of the Karmelo Anthony show.
What? I'm lost for it. I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys. I don't know what. I ain't got nothing to tell them no more.
Ah, okay, cool. You just tell them, don't stab people. That should do it. I'm sorry, man.
It's like we're living inside of a clown show. In it. Edna.
I'm sorry, man. What is the question?
You've come down.
This grandma talking about the cops in the UK.
You've
this is how beaten down the people in England are.
come down to protest today. What is it that brought you down here?
Because, in my opinion, I feel that the police are now so racist towards anyone white or English, or anyone who even looks like me. I would never dare speak to them to report crime. I would not email them or phone them. I do not trust them not to be racist towards me. And at a residents' meeting on Thursday, I was not able to come here last Thursday because I went to a residents' police meeting. I told the police straight, I will never report crime to you. I will never speak to a police person alone. I do not trust you. You are racist towards the English and white people. And we will not stand for it.
You've come...
I mean... That's the state of affairs we find ourselves in. Things happening in the UK, they're not completely unrelated to what's happening across America, across Canada, across Central America. Yeah, just a tough show all around. Just lots of really frustrating, unnecessary misery. Unnecessary, self-inflicted misery. But yeah, Liberty Tango says the Leos, law enforcement officers in Europe and Ireland, England, complete fools. Those who enforce tyranny, are they themselves a tyrannical force? 250th birthday. We got to figure out what America looks like. I mean, a year and a half ago, under the Biden regime's totalitarian rule and all of their ridiculous stuff that they were doing. I mean, our nation was not far from being totally conquered. It's bad in Europe, and it could be just as bad here. So let's try to avoid that, shall we? What I can't avoid today is the fact that this is going to conclude the program. I have more stories that I would like to get into from our X account, but I took time to engage with your comments a little bit today. And of course, we had our wake for Mr. Nimbus. Yeah, I think doing a show in the evening is possible. I really do. I had an emergency yesterday. That was off the table. I don't know if my head will be in the right spot or if I could do one this evening. But I do have other different stories that I would like to share with you off our X account. But in the meantime, follow us at American_media_. Please. Link up with us in all the places. And stay tuned, because if I'm able to, if it makes sense, I would like to do a show in the evenings, maybe at 9 o'clock. I don't know. I'm just floating that out as a possibility. I don't know if 9 will be too early or too late or perfect, but yeah. Thank you for all the love, people. Rob says, great show. Evening show would be awesome, too. Yeah, so if I took an hour off of this show, I'd still hit 2 hours. That's going past my 90-minute, hour and a half, because a 3-hour show is easy for me. There's so much to talk about, and, you know, I love playing tennis off of your ideas, your comments, your jokes. I could do a more focused show. I'd just have to be like a racehorse and put my blinders on. You know, I could power through, but I think it would be a lot less fun. I think trying to, like as a bartender, if I was back there working and I was just running my mouth and nobody was interacting with me, like that would be psychotic. But it would be it would be psychotic. Probably not a good example. Could you imagine a bartender just talking to himself while everyone's trying to eat dinner and have drinks and talk and stuff? But yeah, I don't like conversations one-sided. I like it where we all kind of get to talk about things, and you'll bring up angles, you'll say things a little succinctly, or ask questions, or crack jokes, and there's a value in that. But I do want to get to all the stories we share on X. But link up with the New American Media in all the places: Telegram and Signal, where TNAM and TNAM chat; Facebook, the New American Media; Instagram, the New American Media. The 3 places to subscribe to us: YouTube, Rumble, Patreon. If you want to become a subscriber and be like, I like the cut of your jib, I'll sign up for $5 a month or $10 a month. Yeah, you know, $60 or $120 a year. Yeah, $5, $10 at a time, once a month. Set it and forget it. Thank you to everybody who has done that on the various platforms. Thank you who has assisted us in all the other ways, really. Yeah, times are getting to the biblical proportions every minute, and I truly believe we're in a battle of good versus evil, and that's why I do what I do. You know, I need to go back. I skimmed through it, and I thought it would be right at the end, but it wasn't, and I'm hoping that I didn't imagine it or have this conversation off air with John McAfee. But when I talked with John McAfee, I talked with it 2 or 3 or 4 times. But I think the last time I spoke with him, I thought in that video interview somewhere, it was a conversation where I said, you know, John, I don't know if any of this stuff matters. But if this stuff matters that happens while we're living this life, if it matters, which I don't know, and if there's a God on the other side, which I don't know, but I do believe in as a Christian, if there's a God, and I get to meet that maker on the other side, I want to be able to look my maker in the eye and say, with sincere, earnest honesty. Ooh, earnest honesty. That's a good one. It's another good phraseology. With earnestness and honesty, look my maker in the eye and say, I tried. Because every day I scroll through the news and I see stuff that makes my blood boil, unnecessary pain and suffering I can't stand. It's why I've fostered humans. It's why I've fostered animals, adopted animals. It's why I've worked so hard in my community to work the whole Los Angeles story of 25 buildings, 216 units, making repairs and fixing things and raising the standard of quality of life everywhere, putting gardens in all these condominiums and renovating and redoing all of the laundry rooms and finally power washing for the first time in 70 years, the carports, and redoing driveways, redoing roofs, and painting all of our buildings. Like, it was a dilapidated neighborhood, and we made a difference. And I don't know if any of this stuff makes a difference, but I'm trying to cover the stories that need attention, trying to connect with community, asking you to invite some friends to the bar tomorrow or tonight. If we're live tonight, join us tonight. We're hanging out. We're talking together. It's a little bit more interactive at this stage. I like it that way. So thank you. Thank you to everybody. Leanne. I know. Dina, we will miss you, Nimbus. Rest in peace. Yeah. Show dedicated to Mr. Nimbus. So thank you for tuning in today. Signing out on behalf of everybody out there in the TNAM universe. I appreciate you. I love you. And we'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody. Peace.
guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.